somebody is scamming somebody here, and unfortunately it's going to be me. As such a small startup company, this is going to bankrupt my company. It really is. I literally have no money in the bank account right now. I bought a super low mileage 2013 Malibu, and it got here late last night in the dark, and as soon as I opened the door, I saw what I think is a major problem. Let's go look at this thing and see if it's too good to be true. All right, so here is the Chevy Malibu that we bought with a 4.2 condition report. And before I show you the car, let's go look at that condition report, because it's very important to know that in order for us to buy vehicles online, which is the most cost effective, we have to rely on good information from the auction, ethical and honest information as well. So this is the condition report, and you can see right here that it says it's a 4.2, it's clean. And when you're looking at these condition reports, we kind of want to look at, you know, hey, they're indicating 13 damages, right? No structural damage, there's probably prior paint, the tires are all good, clean auto check, drivability starts, no odors. So they kind of tell you that up front. Silver certified, I still don't understand what that means. I may update that a little bit later in the video, because I have reached out to my auction rep. And then down here, they show you damages that are out there, right? So, and they just tell you that yellow is here, severe is here, kind of like more of that orange is there, but yellow, and then gray is not. So they have 4 categories. So this first one is a front valance. Nothing of a big deal. Right? And I'll show you that here in a second, what that is. It's nothing. They're showing some on the door, right? So if we come back here to the door, we'll see that that they indicate that. So then they show these pictures, and there's nothing there, just a nice picture. So the 3 damages, which is the DMG right there, is this front valance, and that's another part of the front valance. And right there. So you can see they indicated the damage is correct. So, and this is that front bumper cover that I showed you, and that belt molding, which is not a big deal. So down here, they put left front wheel curb rash, right wheel curb rash, right quarter panel scratch, nothing a big deal. Right front door handle chip, no big deal. Right fender chip, no big deal. Right fender scratch, 5 to 6 inches, no big deal. And they tell you paint and body not required, right? So it's just cosmetic, nothing of a big deal. Left front door trim molding broken, replacement required. We'll look at that. I didn't even see that yet. And then they tell you down here that you have Goodyear tires, 8/32, 7/32, and all that good stuff. So nothing else on here that you can see that is indicating what I'm about to show you. Hola!
Never a good sign when you have a camera going.
I know, right?
To walk in the door.
Right? You want to go check out this Malibu with me? I just got done showing them the condition report of 4.2 that we were given to buy this car. Okay, so now that you've seen that 4.2 condition report, we see the front valance down here. Not a big deal. For me, I can just take that off and nobody's gonna care about it, right? If I replace it, it's probably 150 bucks. They talked about curb rash on wheels. Not a big deal. You can see there's a little bit of curb rash right there, and that's easily fixed as well. And then let's see, they mentioned something, I don't see that up here. Nothing of a big deal. I don't like the brakes being so rusty back here. That's kind of a concern with me, and these are pitted right here. Nothing of a big deal still yet. No major curb rash there or anything like that. So looking around the car, don't see anything goofy back here. I don't know, I still don't know where they're taking that picture of something up here. I just don't see it. But let's go over here and we'll show Mrs. Chevy dude what we found. Oh, there's that scratch apparently they're talking about, 5 or 6 inches long. Nothing of a big deal. So Mrs. Chevy dude, let's go ahead and open the door here. We'll see if you see what I saw last night that I didn't tell you. Boom, you got it. Good job. It's exactly what I saw last night. And this... Is
that like rusting? Starting to rust?
This is rusting. So the very first thing I did was I opened the back door, and I don't really see any back here. And then I went ahead and went over to these doors over here and see it starting right here. I opened the back, saw it starting right there. So this is what I saw last night. So advantage of me living 9/10 of a mile away from the store is I can be up here in a really matter of seconds, right? And our cameras indicate there's people on the property. My security company tells me there's people on the property and all that good stuff. So I know when there's people here, even though we're not here. And the transport driver showed up last night. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I'll go get it. So I saw this, but I wasn't going to worry about it. So now today I've came in pre-recording this, I've drove the car, I've looked over it, and I found more issues. And literally as I'm recording this, I just saw another issue. All right, Miss Chevy, dude, come over here. I know how Chevys are. I've been around Chevys for my entire career. So when I see that right there, the very next thing you gotta do is look right there.
The door panel's all rusted.
That's absolutely hollowed out. Now this car has 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles, that's completely hollowed out there. So now I start looking at other doors and I don't see anything there, but then I went ahead and looked at this door and we can see that that door is hollowed out right there as well. And I don't remember this up here. Just the paint is peeling there, which is gonna be starting to rust, I'm sure. And literally while I was recording this, I see rust starting right here. That's not that big of a deal. That's simple, that's easy to fix, nothing crazy. But you know, so I don't know what's happening here. And obviously transport drivers just hop in here and messy that up. Not a big deal, that details out. But I was looking on the hood last night because there is a little bit of concern when you look at 25,000 mile cars. And there's nothing crazy up here. I saw a little rust right here now. Didn't see that last night. Not a big deal, to be honest with you. This isn't a big deal. Yeah, that's kind of, you're gonna get some of that rust up there. But this car just literally sat outside is what's happened. That's all rusted there. I don't know if this car's been in a flood. Maybe that's what happened to this car. Oh, you know, we got my flood vehicle, how to spot a flooded vehicle, right?
Yeah.
You can't see this stuff in pictures. And this is why we have to rely. Oh, that's torn up there.
You need to go back to this Carfax.
I looked at Carfax. So I'm looking at the grommets down here. See how that airbox is out right there? There's some goofiness happening. So we're gonna arbitrate this car with the auction and just tell them that we don't even want it. We want to send it back. So I'm gonna hit that arbitration button, fill out all the details, and I'll just wait to hear back from them. Well, we have a major problem. So I sent in the arbitration claim. I got a call back or an email back. And this is what they said. We've received your arbitration claim through 𝘊𝘳.com. This claim will be deemed invalid due to being out of time frame. This case has been closed out and will not be able to assist. This is a major problem because I had people contact me after I started the dealership and made it public. And a few of those people that contacted me were transporters and they're like, hey, listen, we really want to transport for you. And I just had a transporter screw me over by $15,000. So what I did next was I found the general manager of the Mannheim auction that I bought this from and really just sent him a 2-paragraph email basically stating how we're a new dealership, that we can't afford a mess up like this, and also the fact that this was grossly misrepresented in the condition report. And since looking at the condition report and recording earlier in the video, I think we have found some more information. We're still investigating. We'll update that in this video. But we've got more problems now with this car. I was going to take it down to my local body shop and have them give me an estimate on repair so that I knew. I got in the car, tried to start it, and it won't start. Hear that? It won't start. And then I got an error up here. We'll see if it does it again. Reduce engine power. And when I cleared that out, it also said service traction control. There it goes, to service StabiliTrak. And that's not it. No. There's no way possibly it could be it. I did this once before, but I decided to come back here and open this trunk one more time. And what I did was I found it kind of odd that those were on there, but I let it go. Some dealers do that. But I picked this up, and can you see this? Oh yeah, there's 1.5 inches of water down here. You can see it dripping off of the trunk deck lid. So There's somewhere this deck lid, it's this trunk, something is leaking back here profusely.
What are you doing now with this car?
Well, it's got a check engine light on it. As I showed them earlier in the video, there was no check engine lights on. And I got my 𝘊𝘳 device here, which thank you again, 𝘊𝘳, for hooking me up on this. And I'm just running everything on here. It's got all sorts of codes. It's got multi-axis acceleration sensor module code. It's got electronic brake control module fault. It's got ECM. It's got 2 faults in the ECM.
We'll have our mechanic look at this when he gets in today. Oh, there's Rich right now. Slacking, because it's a little late today.
He's on your schedule.
Yeah, he is.
So at that point, I hadn't heard back from the general manager. And what I did is I went back to that Mannheim auction and emailed the general manager again. And I also found the director of arbitration, and I emailed him the same thing I emailed the manager. And I didn't realize that it was the person who emailed me and said, sorry, we can't help you. Got an email back from that person, and I said, I can certainly look into this for you. Can you send me a copy of the bill of lading from the transporter? So that's what I did. I sent him a bill of lading, hoping, is that what I said? Hoping that maybe this gentleman here. And you know what, now that I look at this, it's not the same person. I thought it was the same person. It's not the same person. This is the senior manager of vehicle operations for Mannheim of this particular auction. So hopefully this matter gets resolved. That's all I'm trying to say. And I'll take it over to Mannheim here in Louisville and just be done with it. Reimburse me even
we're not doing that.
Somebody is scamming somebody here, and unfortunately it's going to be me. As such a small startup company, this is going to bankrupt my company. It really is. I literally have no money in the bank account right now. All right, so our SD card filled up. Mrs. Chevy needs pacing around because you're absolutely through the roof, upset, mad right now.
Luckily, I'm not mad at you.
Yes, thank goodness, right? And we've learned some things. So if this part of the call gets in the video, they offered us $2,500 basically for us to go away because he literally said that we're a problem. He's got bigger problems to deal with, and he doesn't want to deal with us anymore. And beforehand, I emailed the general manager of Darlington, Mannheim. Didn't get a response. So I emailed this guy again, and then I also emailed this guy, Daniel, because he's on the list. I email him. They refuse to look at our pictures in Dropbox. I can only submit 10 pictures.
They can't use Dropbox.
Yeah, I only can submit 10 pictures, which this car is not a 10-picture car to submit. I have over 30 pictures of this car that I submitted to them, but they refuse to look at them. And
they refused to even acknowledge that there was rust on the car.
Right. So
and that the rust somehow showed up
is our fault between
it leaving Mannheim and getting here. So our transport driver somehow put rust on this car.
Right. So here's what I've learned, what I've found out. So we bought this from the seller, right? The seller is a remarketing company. And I have now since learned that this is Mannheim reselling their cars that they do kind of like an arbitration, a buyback, so to speak. So what happens when we as a dealership buy a car, we have options of purchasing cars with what's called Deal Shield. And basically for 21 days from the date of purchase, we can return this car under any circumstances and give it right back there, and we're not out any money of the purchase price. So that's what happened in this case. Is this car was bought by a dealership. They found all the rust, all the problems, and they deal shielded it, sent it back, and then what Mannheim does is send it back through this remarketing company, which is crazy, that the remarketing company is in Atlanta, and they send it to Darlington, South Carolina, which there's 2 Mannheims in Atlanta.
But the dealership that bought it could have been in South Carolina.
Yeah, could have been, and they just took it to that
local.
So there's a lot of fishy stuff on here. And then what I thought was really scummy bag of this Daniel is that we're talking numbers. I'm like, can you do 3,500? He says no, just straight no. Doesn't care about me in any way, shape, or form. And he asked if he can do 3. He says no. I said, well, what's the most you could do? $2,000. So he went down $500 in his original thing, and that is absolutely. This tells me a lot about Daniel. He's been in the car business. He's been on the sales floor at some dealership somewhere and worked for some piece of crap dealership that plays these type of tactics. And I didn't flinch at that. I knew what was going on, but to sit there and be like, hey, listen, we'll give you $2,500, and when I'm just trying to get a little bit more money to protect my company, to protect this car, I asked for $3,500, and then he's like, no, I'll give you $2,000. I'm gonna lessen my offer, and which luckily I had all on camera, but. So that's where we're at now. We have a solution. I think we have a way to fix this problem, but I have a few things that we have to sort out first. All right, so we're out here trying to get this turd bucket started. Big shout out to 𝘊𝘳, because we're using our 𝘊𝘳 system they gave us, and we have, I think I showed it already, reduced power, got water in the trunk, and I think we have a solution to get rid of this thing and like not cause us to lose money. All right, so we are headed over to the auction to drop this car off to run it through the sale. So kind of regret taking it to the auction, but I think it's the right thing to do. Probably needs brakes. I'm hitting the brakes now. A little bit of noise from the brakes. They might be rusted over just because of the weather, but we're gonna take it over, drop it off, and we'll see what it brings. Hopefully I don't lose my butt on this car. And here we are, Clark County Auto Auction. I've never been here before, but man, is it super nice. And these people don't know how to stop. And these people don't know how to stop. They just, good thing I stopped, huh? So I haven't been here before, but it says vehicle check-in. I guess it goes this way. Let's see, but man, this is a super nice building for an auto auction. I guess this is it. I don't know, but man, how perfect. The fuel level low light just came on. This thing is not sucking another dollar out of me. Okay, it was literally that simple. I just like told them who I am. I put my dealer number on the dash, and that's it. So I think we're gonna make our first auction trip. Tomorrow is the auction. Tomorrow after the day I'm recording this, and we'll come back here and we will see what it brings at the auction and see if I lose my ass or we're safe on this one. This could be a costly mistake.